Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mr. John, and you're welcome to another edition of our tutorial video. So today we are going to be talking about quadratic equation, and we are basically going to be focusing on the factorization method. You know, we have many methods of solving quadratic equation. We have the graphical method, we have the factorization method, we have the completing the square, and the factorization. So we'll be talking about all those methods, but we're going to start with the factorization method. You're welcome back from quick break. So just as you can see on the board, we have examples that we're going to be solving using the factorization method. So the first example we have here on the board is a quadratic equation. So this is x squared plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. Now, when solving a quadratic equation using factorization method, one thing we need to understand is the word factorization is solving quadratic equation by using the factors, that's both the constant, which is 6, and the what constant, which is the coefficient of x. We are going to find the factors that they have in common, and you understand. So we have what 6. What we're going to basically focusing on is the factors, or the coefficient, not the factor rather, is the constant 6. Now 6 is what we're going to be focusing on. We're going to find the factors of 6, and I believe you all know what factor is. If you don't have any idea of what factor is, you can check out my previous video that I did on factors to know what it actually means. So the factors of 6 are factors. They are 1, 2, 3, and 6. So these are the factors of 6. Now, one condition we need to satisfy, there are two conditions we have to satisfy when solving with factorization method. And one condition we need to satisfy is the fact that out of the factors of 6, we must look for two numbers, either negative or positive, that when we multiply together, it will give us what? Positive 6. And when we check that out, we have what? 1 times 6 to give us 6, and also 2 times 3 to give us what? 6. Now another condition we must satisfy is that what? Those two factors that we picked out to multiply together to give us 6, one of them must satisfy the fact that what? When we add it together, it will give us what? 5, which is the coefficient of x. And when we check, the addition of 1 plus 6 will give us 7, and the addition of 2 plus 3 will give us what? 5. So which one do you think satisfies the condition of adding it together to give us the coefficient of x? Of course, this one. So this is the one that we are going to use. This one will not be applicable. So what do we do next? You all will agree with me that the addition of 2x plus 3x will also give us 5x. So we know our what? 2x plus 3x gives us what? 5x. So what we're going to do is to substitute this value 2x plus 3x into what? This first equation we have. So instead of us to be having 5x here, we are going to replace what? 2x plus 3x with what? 5. So we're going to substitute it into this equation, where we're going to have our x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6 equal to 0. You all will agree with me that what? This is technically the same thing as this equation here. It's just that we just had to what? We just have to add this one together to get back to what? The original equation. So with this, we have been able to break it down to the half. We have brought the problem to what? Half level. So the next thing we are going to do is to group group these. We can discover that we have 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to group them into 2, and then we now carry out the factorization. So we group this like this, then we group this one also like this. So here now we have to factor out what is common. Factoring is bringing out what the both of them have in common. So if you check here, what they have in common is what? X. So we bring out x, and when we bring out x here, x, if you take one x out of what? This x square, we have what? Just x. And when we take out x from 2x, we are going to have what? Just 2. Now the same thing applies to this. What do they have in common? They only have numbers in common. And we discovered that what? Both 3 and 6 have what? Something in common, which is what? 3. When you take out positive 3 from 3x, you are going to have what? X. When you take out positive 3 from 6, you are going to have what? 2. So this is our solution. Now from this, you discover that what? There is a repeated something here. This is repeated. X plus 2, x plus 2 is repeated. So what do we do next? We just have to pick out one of them, and then x plus 2, and then this x, then plus this 3. And so this solves our problem. When you simplify for that, you're going to have your x to be equal to -2, or your x to be equal to what? -3, and that settles what? The problem. So this is what we call the root of the equation. We have been able to what? Solve and resolve this particular problem.